Hello and welcome. Well, when I say the words essential oils, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Now, you may think of aromatherapy and nice smelling oils that fill your house and make it smell beautiful, and or you may think of essential oils as an alternative therapy to help relieve the symptoms of stress. But in fact, essential oils have much more uses than this and are known to be effective in treating common health problems. Now, this can be known as an alternative form of medicine, as a high quality natural product to aid and assist health and well-being, which of course is a personal choice and for you to decide to use or not to use. But the question is really, until now, did you know that essential oils can be used in and around the home with a wide range of uses? Till now, I didn't actually. I've always just burnt them and in my diffuser, really. I use them almost every single day, but didn't know that there was different uses for them in and around the home. And so we're looking forward to this chat today and learning more about it with our special guest, Melissa Raymond. Now, Melissa is a physiotherapist and has a strong passion for seeking out natural evidence-based health options for her family. And after completing her PhD, she now uses her research skills to help dive deeper into evidence into all things, being eczema, allergies, food intolerances, and gut health. And she helps parents with children that have eczema, allergies, and food intolerances with evidence-based approaches so their child can finally feel comfortable physically and emotionally and have the entire family so they can actually start living their life again. And she's also a mum to two beautiful boys. Now, thank you so much for joining us, Mel. How are you?
I'm great, thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh, it's great to chat, and it's a great topic as well, because I think everybody loves the smell, or the majority of people love the smell of essential oils, and just that feeling, of course, that they can sort of give you of calm and serenity and just nice smelling stuff. Um, in general, this is a really interesting chat about how else we can use essential oils. But just talking about you for a moment, it's been said that you're proud to say that you're a research nerd. So others,
I am,
parents,
yes.
don't have to be. And we really thank you for that, because you love your research. So I'd love to just know, just from the get-go, like, where did your passion for essential oils originally come from?
Well, look, to be honest, I do like a bargain, and it started off with a little starter kit. I didn't know anything about essential oils, and I was part of a natural co-op group I think it was a Facebook group about 10 years ago. And she was selling essential oils, and it came in a little pack, and I thought that was a bargain. So I got a little starter kit because it came with lavender and tea tree. And I knew about lavender and tea tree. I knew that lavender was soothing to the skin and tea tree you used for cleaning. And I didn't know what any of the other oils did, but I thought I'd get started with those two. And my little one at the time had eczema. He's nearly 10 now. And so I thought I would make a little moisturizer from the lavender and the tea tree and some shea butter. Then I knew exactly what was in the moisturizer that I was putting on his skin for his eczema. And it worked really well. And to be honest, the other 5 or 8 oils sat untouched for about 3 years because I didn't know about the amazing properties of the other oils. And then I stumbled upon a new friend who told me that I could actually use the other things for other helpful health things around the house, and just to simplify our life. That's what I was looking for. And that's how our journey began with essential oils.
Now, all in all, apparently there are over 90 commonly used essential oils, 90, which I find just fascinating. And each naturally are associated with their own health claims. And I'd love to know, or actually, I'll ask you this in a moment. I hope you don't mind for the moment. I've actually made a quick list of the top 10 of the 90 that are most popular, that people more than likely have
Yeah,
sort of
fantastic. Yeah, I'd
heard
love to hear.
Yeah, so we'll sort of go through them and just very briefly, just their health benefits. And I'd love for you to let me know if I've missed anything or if you want to definitely add anything. One, of course, is peppermint, and that's used to boost energy and aid digestion. I use this on a regular basis. So I've got I don't want to use the name of the brand, but 100% essential oils. I sort of rub it in my hands and sniff it and that sort of stuff. But peppermint is really great to boost energy and aid digestion. Do you use that one at all?
Yes, it's absolutely a commonly used one around the house too. I also use it for ants. If you've got ants around your kitchen, you can make up a little easy spray to ward off the ants around your home.
Nice one. Next one is lavender. As we know, that is to help relieve stress. So I've actually been to a lavender farm before, and I've seen them. I've actually purchased lavender that you can actually is edible as well. So this is not saying that essential oil for lavender can be edible, but lavender overall as a plant can be edible. But for an essential oil, it's used to relieve stress. So is there anything else that you use it for at all?
Oh, look, I love to mix this one with peppermint and frankincense as well to help with any time I'm feeling tension in the body. Sometimes you get that bit of a heavy head. So that's what I'll use that for as well,
Yep.
combining them.
Nice. That's a nice little mixture there. Sandalwood is used to help calm nerves and helps with focus. Do you use it for anything else?
I will use that with a mix of with orange as well, or any of the citrus oils. That woody and citrus makes a really nice as well for the calming, but just an energy boost with together, and it can make a really nice replacement for perfume.
Excellent. Love that citrusy sort of smell.
Yeah.
Bergamot is used to reduce stress and improve skin conditions, like you were saying before, like eczema. So do you use that, have you used that with your son at all?
Not for the skin, but I actually make up a blend for sleep, and it contains bergamot in it with the lavender. That's really really beautiful and calming as well.
Mm. The next one is called Rachel. The next one is rose, and rose can be used to improve mood and reduce anxiety. Do you use rose oil for anything?
We also use rose for helping with the skin too. So it's a really beautiful one to use on the face, just diluted.
Hmm.
But yeah, rose is my son's favorite oil and the most expensive one, I think.
And this next one, I didn't know you could actually get it in an oil. Is chamomile, and that's used to improve mood and relaxation. So, do you use chamomile oil for anything at all?
You can also pop it in a tea, as you would with making sure, of course, that it was a food grade based chamomile. But yes, it's very soothing. So you could have a drop in a cup of. Usually, I would have it in a cup of white tea. So something with the milk or something with the just fat to blend it through. But that can be really nice and calming before bed.
Nice. The next one is ylang ylang. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Ylang ylang, yes, yes.
Used to treat headaches, nausea, and skin conditions. Do you use that for anything else at all?
This is a beautiful one to make in a replacement perfume as well. So
Mm.
many will detect the ylang ylang in a perfume base, but it is just a really nice floral tone to add to replace. Like there's a lot of chemicals in perfume, and if you wanted to simplify your life and simplify your health, even just plain ylang ylang can be beautiful to replace your perfume.
Fantastic. And of course, tea tree, which you mentioned before, that's used to fight infections and boost immunity. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of other uses for tea tree, which we're going to speak about in a moment. But do you want to leave that for later, or do you want to maybe speak about it now?
I'll just put my little handy 50-cent tip as well. If you want to make your own cleaning spray, 5 to 10 drops of tea tree oil in a spray bottle with water, maybe a dash of vinegar if you could be bothered, but otherwise it's a pretty inexpensive replacement to use around the house, and it's kid friendly as well.
Excellent. All natural. The next one is jasmine, and that's used to help with depression, childbirth, and libido. That sounds pretty good. I didn't
Yes.
know you could get jasmine oil, to tell you the truth. That's a new one to me.
Yeah, absolutely. You can. Again, it's another expensive oil. Often they're more expensive because they require a lot of flowers to be picked to create the oil. But that one can be layered with rose and neroli as again a beautiful replacement oil, and just to help heal the heart. It's a really nice heart oil.
Oh, beautiful. And the next one is lemon. Never thought of lemon oil before, but that's used to aid digestion, mood, headaches, and more. So, do you use lemon oil with anything at all?
Food grade lemon oil, yes, absolutely. If you don't have a lemon in the house and you're making a guacamole, a couple of drops of lemon oil in your avocado dip is amazing. It's also really great to pop in lemon slices and lemon dishes. Things like what is it called? Lemon meringue pie. It's
Oh,
amazing
that's
in
my
that as
favorite.
well. Yeah.
Now, I guess as a disclaimer, if our audience have a serious health condition or taking medication, they definitely should discuss the use of essential oils with their health practitioner. And for anyone else with minor health issues or just looking for support in their health and well-being, using essential oils as a supplementary therapy definitely can be beneficial and worthwhile in fostering a wide range of advantages for your health. I'd love to know your thoughts on this overall.
Oh, look, absolutely. I think with any dietary changes or supplement changes, lifestyle changes, it's really important that you get the right advice. Seeking the advice of a health practitioner who's qualified to be able to help you is really important. And I always encourage people to do so before ingesting essential oils. So there are food grade essential oils that we have in everyday products that we buy from the supermarket. And if you do decide to use them internally, it's really important that you make sure that the oils are food grade, so they're not just there's not just fillers in there as well. But essential oils are just wonderful to use topically. That means on your skin, and diffused as well, like in a diffuser, which you mentioned before. So that's a really great way to get started before you dive further with essential oils.
Yeah. And before we sort of get into more of the details about the benefits of them, and as another disclaimer, a large percentage of our audience are mums who are either planning or expecting a baby. So I really wanted to highlight that there are a number of essential oils that pregnant women are advised not to use. And these include, but are not limited to, because there are many, but fennel, clary sage, marjoram, tarragon, caraway, cinnamon, sage, parsley seed, pennyroyal, wintergreen. There's a whole list of others. So as a disclaimer, please, if you are pregnant or planning, please check with your relevant health professional which ones are safe for you to use. Is there anything that you want to add to that at all, Mel?
I think it goes with the being empowered and educating yourself as well. So absolutely seeking the advice of your healthcare practitioner, and also taking the opportunity to learn about the essential oils so that you can, there are some great reference books out there as well, so that you can check those at any stage, because we do move from stages of trying to conceive to pregnant, and breastfeeding as well. It's another thing to just be aware of, and using them around newborns just to be aware of, and having a really good reference book can be really helpful so that you can check at 2 o'clock in the morning maybe when you need to, which oils might be appropriate or which ones to avoid.
Fantastic advice. Now, on a lighter note, we published your article titled Essential Oils and Kids. Now, for someone who hasn't read the article yet, can you please give us an overview of what it's about and just tell us what inspired you to write it?
Absolutely. So the article is around using basically my top essential oils to use around the home for family health. It started off around what I mentioned before with the journey that we started with essential oils, and starting with my son and making a very simple, easy moisturizer, and then finding out that actually there are more essential oils out there other than lavender and tea tree that can be used to support our health. And really just going through some simple ones to start with and some different ways on how to use them.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you were to define then what are essential oils, how would you define that for anyone watching or listening?
Essential oils are amazing plant medicine. Plants are extremely clever, and they create these chemical compounds that the plant uses to protect itself. It uses these oils or these compounds for survival. And humans have cleverly found a way to harness the energy of these plants and the oils, extracting them in different ways. So you might know cinnamon bark that comes from the cinnamon tree. So it's this, the cinnamon scrolls. So the cinnamon oil comes from the bark. You might know the lavender flower. So that lavender oil comes from the flower. And then there are other oils where the oils are extracted from the roots. So there's different ways that we can extract the essential oils, but essentially they're super concentrated plant medicine that we can use to help our own health, and in a variety of different ways around the home.
So essential oils are essentially a concentrated plant extract that sort of retain the natural smell and flavor, I guess, or essence of their original source, would you say?
Yes. And you think about lemon, and when you peel a lemon, or maybe not peel a lemon, but when you peel a mandarin or an orange, you get that burst, that smell. And so those oils from citrus are in the skin, and that's exactly what you're smelling there. It's amazing freshness.
For anyone that's worked with me before, I'm one of those strange people. There's a perfume. It's not an essential oil, and this obviously I'm not paid at all to say this, but there's a perfume, a British label called Jo Malone, and she has
I
this
love Jo Malone.
The signature fragrance, which is the lime, basil and mandarin. And every winter, of course, when I used to sit there at work and I'd be peeling my mandarin, I literally, exactly what you were just saying, I would sort of get the mandarin peel and sort of squeeze, and all that essence would come out, and it would sort of just pretend I was smelling Jo Malone. But anyway, enough of me being strange and stuff. But yes, I understand what you're saying, because I've done that many a times, and yeah, that is all the essential good stuff that comes out of the
absolutely of the fruit. And I think, and that's the thing with essential oils, that smell, it's linked, our sense of smell is linked to our memory system. So when we smell we are sometimes taken back to our childhood or a certain moment in time, which can be really, really lovely.
Anchors back to an emotion. Absolutely. Now, in saying that, how can we use essential oils to help our children?
Well, there's a range of common kiddie issues that come up. So sleep is one thing that can be supported with essential oils. We use lavender, and we diffuse that at night time if the kids are having trouble getting to sleep or staying asleep. And we also, at times when needed, will dilute the essential oil, like a drop of lavender in a carrier oil. A carrier oil is an oil that doesn't have necessarily a therapeutic property, but it helps to spread the oil further. So you're not having to use a lot of essential oils, but it also helps it to go into the skin and be held into the skin. So we use a carrier oil. We use jojoba oil in our house sometimes. And so a drop of lavender with a little bit of jojoba oil rubbed into the soles of the feet before bed or on the back is a really nice way to help support your child have a really good, healthy bedtime routine.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And in the article, you actually list 6 essential oils and different ways that you can use them. We have sort of touched on some of them, but I just wondered if you could just quickly talk through each of them and just, with your suggestions, how we can use them. The first one that you speak about in the article is lavender.
Yes, so we also use lavender. Lavender is one of the most versatile essential oils. So if you're going to pick one, I would go with lavender. Um, Again, alongside with sleep, it can help with stress. So that's great for parents as well as children. Rubbing it on the shoulders or the back of the head, or just popping a drop on a tissue and smelling that, tucking that in your bra if you're going around during the day and you need something that just relieves your stress. That's a great way to go about it as a parent or an adult.
Nice.
And scratches and scrapes, bites, those sorts of things. So that lavender has antihistamine properties. Now, you might have heard of histamines before, being that the reaction of, tears, the runny nose, associated with hay fever, itchy throat. So it calms down all of those things. So it can really soothe the scrapes and the scrapes and the grazes that little ones have when they fall over, and also with any itchy bites. That can be really helpful as well. So just using that topically. Again, I always dilute because we're using them around kids, but I generally dilute them anyway. And you can just dab that on a cotton ball and dab it on their knees or wherever the scrapes or bites are.
Wow, there's a lot more uses to lavender than I thought, but they all seem to sort of have some form of a calming effect, would you say?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
Spot on.
the next one you have on your list is tea tree.
This one's also a good one to pop in your little scratch and scrape blend. So lavender and tea tree can go well together, and it goes well because it has the complement of the antibacterial properties. So if there's a little bit of dirt in there, or you think that it's looking a little bit red from an infection perspective, tea tree is a really nice one to complement that. And tea tree has been used for hundreds, if not thousands, of years for that purpose, for the antibacterial properties. I'll pop this in the diffuser with lavender and peppermint if it's a really windy day, spring has sprung and you've got that pollen in the air and you've got that sort of itchy eyes, runny nose. I'll also use tea tree for that as well.
So that mix again was tea tree, lavender, and what was the other?
Peppermint.
Wonderful. I'm going to try that
Peppermint,
myself,
yeah.
actually. Thank you for that. And into
You're
a
welcome.
diffuser. The
Into
next
a
one,
diffuser, yeah.
yeah. And the next one on the list is lemon.
Oh, this is sunshine in a bottle. I don't know. I mean, we talked about before about peeling an orange, but the lemon essential oil just brightens my day. If you're ever feeling low, if you're ever feeling like you're a bit flat or tired, a lemon essential oil will just give you the pick me up that you might need. And also, it's really great for getting the sticky labels off your glass bottles or sticky stuff off the carpet with the kids in the house. So that's a really lemon is. Sunshine in a bottle.
Okay, the next one we have on the list is oregano.
Oregano is known as a hot oil. So this one, actually, if you put it directly on the skin, you'll feel a warming, potentially a burning sensation. So it's really important that you keep all of your essential oils away from your kids, so up on a high shelf. But this one in particular, you always dilute it if you're using it topically. It's a great oil to use to support your immune system. And so we'll diffuse this one throughout winter, and we might add some tea tree or lemon in that as well. I don't love the smell of oregano, and I think this goes with some people feeling like they need to love the smell of something for it to have a positive effect. This one I like to disguise with other oils, but still use it in the mix to help support our immune system.
Never knew and never thought of using oregano as an oil, but thank you very much for sharing that with us. And it's
You're
good to know that it's good
welcome.
for immune system. The next one's peppermint.
This is also a staple in our house. I was surprised actually how much peppermint I go through each month or so. This one, as I mentioned before, is great for ants, but it's also great for tension. So if you're feeling like you've got sore muscles, soothing those with peppermint can be really helpful. Again, don't forget to dilute. And a friend also uses this for growing pains for her little one. So diluting and rubbing down the long bones has been really soothing for her little one, particularly at night time when sometimes you feel like there's nothing else you can do to help them. This one can really help.
Great tip. And the last one you have on your list is frankincense, if I pronounce that correctly.
Frankincense, perfect. Frankincense is a really earthy essential oil and grounding. So if you're feeling like you need some support mentally, this one's a really lovely one. It's known as the king of oils, and it has really beautiful anti-inflammatory properties. So it's really calming, grounding, as I said before. One of my favorite blends, again with the perfume replacement. I think this is probably because when my older son had eczema and allergies, and we did a clear out of all the chemicals in our house, or perfume was one of the things that was hardest to let go of because of the smell association and the memories and the emotions. But I found a beautiful replacement, and that is frankincense, lavender, and orange.
Oh,
And that
lovely.
is an amazing, amazing scent, which just can be grounding, both grounding and uplifting.
Okay, that's a great tip. Well, what other tips do you have, I guess, for using essential oils around the home then? Well, in general.
I start where you are. So if you feel like you want to dip your toe in slowly and get a couple of essential oils, that is a great way to start. If you feel like you're ready to dive in, then I would start with a starter kit where you might have a range of essential oils. Get yourself a really great reference book so that you can flick through and know how to use your essential oils safely. And don't be afraid to seek out some essential oil groups out there that might have some great recipes, and refer back to your book just to double check that fits your need as well.
Yeah, I think having a book and a point of reference to know the blends and to know I guess the benefits in them is something that sort of takes time, but no doubt the benefits would outweigh any time or anything put into sort of that research. And as you mentioned before too, using a diffuser can also give off a medicinal effect when absorbed, because it's about how the essential oils are absorbed into our system, in our bloodstream. Is that, I guess, how they start to affect us, I guess, or that we benefit
Yes,
from them?
absolutely. So I love using the diffuser if maybe you've got people in the house who don't necessarily want to embrace essential oils. That's a nice way of just incorporating them in a very gentle way. And I'll also use a diffuser around the house when we've got sort of respiratory issues, so lung issues that we want to breathe them in. If you're thinking back to the time of the Vicks Vapor Rub and the steam bowls, where I don't know if you did that as a kid, but we
Yeah.
did a drop of eucalyptus oil in some hot water with a tea towel over your head. And so if you're thinking about using that for supporting the lungs, it's the same way with the diffuser. You could use it for supporting the lungs that way, as well as a general overall benefit. And then if you've got a sore spot or somewhere in particular that you need attention with the essential oils, that's when I would use them more topically. And so diluting them and putting them on the particular area that's sore, or you've got the graze, will help in that local area and be absorbed into the bloodstream that way.
Great tips. So what are your suggestions then for the best oils, I guess, for a family to start with?
So I really think that those top five to six oils that we talked about today are a really great starting point. They're really versatile, so you can use them to start supporting the health of your family. It helps with from energy, stress, mood, immune system, and they're kind of really key areas to cover. But also then those oils will allow you to start replacing if you're looking to simplify and clean out some of the chemicals in your home, cleaning products, moisturizers, personal care products, they're also a really good complement and really great place to start as well, because you can start with those essential oils too. So it ends up being cost effective with starting with those sorts of oils to begin with.
Yes. And on the flip side of all the good stuff, I mean, can I guess essential oils cause any harm? And is that something that I guess people have to sort of be mindful of if they potentially have asthma, or that can cause rashes or allergic reactions or anything like that at all, or not? I don't know.
Look, absolutely. Look, they're really concentrated compounds from plants, and even though they're natural, there's poison ivy that's natural and that can cause rashes. And because they're so concentrated, that's when they can potentially irritate the skin. So it's really important that you dilute the essential oils when you're using them on the skin. It also saves you money by diluting them because you're not having to use so much. And being aware of the dilution ratios as well for children and adults and people with sensitive skin. I usually will recommend my clients who do have eczema, if they're starting with essential oils, they would use 1 drop to 10 mils of a carrier oil. So it's very, very diluted. Sometimes even that can be too much, but it's a really personal thing. So everyone's got different levels of sensitivities. So it's really important that you patch test and go slowly. The other thing is that essential oils do have health benefits and they do affect our body, but sometimes people are on medications. And so sometimes medications and essential oils may have an interaction, or they might be trying to do the same thing, which might be too much for your body. So it's really important that you talk about it with your GP about starting essential oils if you're on any medication as well.
Yeah, like we said at the very start of the chat too. So,
absolutely. And can I add one more thing, Rachel? Sorry.
Yeah, don't be sorry.
It's really important that we avoid the eyes when we're using essential oils. So washing our hands really, really well before touching eyes. But we want to avoid putting oils in our eyes, in our ears, mucous membranes, so nose and around the mouth. And then I say your pits and your bits. So you want to make sure you wash your hands really well before you go to the toilet as well, because, as I said before, some of the oils can be hot oils, and so we really don't want them in any of our sensitive spots.
As an avid chili eater, I've been there many times cooking with chilies and then go, I've got an itchy eye, and then I'm like, my God, that hurts. So yes, I completely understand. Maybe not an essential oil, but yes, I do hear you. Now,
absolutely.
So with families now that they're listening to this or watching this and thinking, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. How do people actually know how to choose the right essential oils? Because there's a lot out there. Where do people start?
Absolutely. So there are lots of different companies out there that do essential oils. I recommend that you find a company that tests their essential oils for being pure and being the right essential oil, but also making sure that there's nothing else in the bottle that you're buying, because often they're diluted with other oils or other chemicals in there, or they might be synthetic. And we want to make sure that if we're using them and we want to have health benefits, that we're using the most pure form of essential oils. And then really, if you're wanting to dive in, a lot of the companies have little starter kits on where to start. So contacting the company. I've got some information on my website about essential oils and how to get started, or even starting with a reference book to have a look through to see which ones might suit. Might be a way to go for some people, but I would start simple. Go with the top 5 or 6, and then you can expand from there if you're finding that essential oils resonate with you.
Cool. So what I'm hearing, and tell me if I heard it right, to look for high quality oils and only use pure plant sort of compound extracted, and a lot of them are sort of either distilled or they're sort of cold pressed, I think, aren't they? Um,
Yes.
yeah, and to avoid oils that have been sort of diluted with synthetic sort of fragrances, chemicals, or oils. They're generally sort of the cheaper ones, aren't they, that you see sort of in the cheapy sort of stores. So to sort of just be mindful of those ones. So look for pure oils, really.
Yes,
That would,
absolutely.
and I sort of find, and usually they've got the plant's like botanical name, which is a long sort of technical scientific name, Lavandula official Alis or whatever they're called, as opposed
Castivolia,
to,
yep.
yeah, see, yeah, that's why you're the professional. uh, Rather than, essential oil of just lavender or something, layman terms like I would use. And I think you mentioned before too, a chemical-free oil, essential oil that's been extracted really through that sort of mechanical cold pressing as well. Is that right?
Yes, so the different plants are, or depending if it's a fruit or the flower, they're extracted in different ways. But it should say on the label um, what the ingredients are. One thing to note though is often they don't label what else is in the essential oil. So do a bit of research and find out. It's not hard these days to have a little look to see what essential oils are 100% pure. And there are some companies out there that will show all their testing as well. So if you can access their testing of their product and they're happy to have it transparent for everyone to see, I think they're a trusted company to go with.
Yeah. So definitely to purchase a brand with a reputation for producing high quality products. And there's quite a few out there. I use doTERRA quite a lot, and love their stuff, but not saying that you have to, but I mean that they are sort of widely well respected. And there's a whole heap of others, of course. Now, getting back to what we were saying earlier, we mentioned before that there are a list of essential oils that women who are pregnant that they should avoid, and that is very important. However, there are essential oils that are safe for pregnancy, and they can actually help with a few ailments. And I just wanted to sort of go through a few of these just to get your thoughts too. So, to relieve nausea, things like lavender, chamomile, peppermint, and ginger, and either sort of sniffing those or one or two drops into a diffuser can sort of help, and they can sort of help ease sort of like morning sickness and that sort of stuff as well. Have you heard of any of that stuff before?
Yes, look, absolutely. And I think some of the listeners out there might be familiar with having ginger products. And before I had heard about essential oils and used them, you would have a ginger tea for nausea, or you would have a peppermint tea for nausea. So all of these oils now that we're using do have origins of being used for a long period of time before people use them in the oil form. So absolutely, yes. They're
They can sort
definitely
of,
worth a go if you're feeling unwell during pregnancy.
yeah, and maybe they could even sort of drop a few of the droplets into like a hanky or something like that to sort of sniff, or a cotton ball as well. As we were saying earlier, it might be a quicker and easy way to sort of get it into the bloodstream. A different thing too is to improve health. So lavender, ylang ylang, mandarin, and frankincense, same sort of thing. As you mentioned before, like a blend of those types of things can sort of help to improve sleep for pregnant women. Is there anything else, I guess, you want to maybe add to that at all?
No, diffusing is a really lovely, gentle way to use the oils. So that's how I would start with someone during pregnancy. Again, making sure that they had a reference book and had sought the advice of their healthcare practitioner.
And essential oils for pregnant women also can help to soothe muscle aches. So things like lavender, ylang ylang, again, ginger, chamomile, and frankincense in any combination, once again, can sort of help with that. And the horrible hemorrhoids. But they apparently, I was reading that essential oils can help. So tea tree, geranium, is it cypress? Is that how you pronounce it? And lavender.
Cypress, yes.
These can actually help to soothe swelling and irritation as well. Have you heard of anything like that? It being used in
No, I
that
haven't,
context?
Rachel, not for hemorrhoids. I've never, I wonder how they would be used if that was topically. Definitely need to dilute, definitely need to investigate that one if
Yes,
you were going to use them topically.
Well, I was reading that the you blend all of them together, and for a total of 8 drops altogether. So it is diluted, and add the mixture to 2 tablespoons of aloe vera gel, and then apply a concoction directly onto the affected area with a cotton ball or a tissue. So I just didn't know if you'd heard of that before, but
No, I
apparently
hadn't. But there's so many uses of
that's just
essential
the
oils, and
thing.
that's absolutely.
Yeah, and going back to the very start of our discussion, where there's 90 of them, it really does, sort of make the mind boggle as to all the different things that they can help with. And I've loved this chat today. If you were to summarize, I guess, your key messages for anyone watching or listening, what would they be?
Essential oils are a lovely complement to a new family or a family that's going to become a bigger family. Start simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Make sure that you are informed and empowered, and find the best essential oils that work for you. Enjoy them.
Yes, and look, we will have a link through to the article. But if people have got any questions for you and or want to contact you after watching or listening, whereabouts can they find you?
Sure, they can find me at yourjourneytohealing.net. And on Facebook, I'm at Your Journey to Healing with Melissa.
Fantastic, and we'll have all of those links in the show notes. Love this chat, Mel, and let's chat again soon. Take care.
Thanks so much, Rachel. Bye.
Bye.